If you use wireless music gear, you might notice that there's an option for squelch in your wireless. Squelch might be a weird term, but it's actually a very useful tool for preventing unwanted noise and interference with your wireless systems. In this video, I'm going to show you what it means, how to set it, and how I personally use it. But in simple terms, a lower squelch setting will increase the range of the wireless, but also increase the possibility of unwanted noise and interference. Whereas a higher squelch setting will decrease the range of the wireless, but also decrease the possibility of you getting interference or unwanted noise. Squelch isn't really just a set it and forget it type of setting, but it is useful to understand how to use it, especially in crowded RF environments. So for this video, I am going to demo it with my Sennheiser in-ear monitor system, as well as my Alto Stealth for my wireless PA system. However, the ideas that I go over in this video are going to apply to anything that has squelch with it. This is going to apply to wireless mics, wireless for guitar, bass instruments, and stuff like that, or wireless in-ear monitors as well. So I'm going to show you how this works. You do want to do all of this with your transmitters off. And the reason why you want to do that is you want to see what is going on in the RF environment. If you turn your transmitters on, then it's obviously going to pick up that signal. You want to have your transmitter off, and this is actually a useful tool for seeing what's going on in the wireless environment at the venue that you're playing at. So my Sennheiser in-ear monitor system is the main system I'm going to demo this on. And you can see in this one, you can get into the menu. One of the menu options is squelch, and I can adjust up or down in decibels. However, you can do this with other systems as well. You can see this PHENYX Pro wireless microphone system has a squelch setting, and it goes from 1 all the way up to 9. And you can also see that I have this on my Alto Professional wireless PA system as well. I can set the squelch from 1 to 9 as well. I'm actually going to come back to the Alto Stealth one as well, but for the main demo, I'm going to do this on the Sennheiser. So you have 2 meters here. You're going to have the RF and the AF. The RF is going to show you the strength of the RF signal, or just the strength of the wireless signal being picked up. And the AF will be the audio meter. So first I'm going to set the squelch level to the lowest level, and that's 5 decibels on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan for the best channel on my wireless. If your system does not have a scan, that's okay. As long as it has an RF meter, you can still do this. So when I scanned, it found this channel. You can see that there is no RF signal coming through. That means that this is a completely clear channel and nothing else close by is going to send signal to this and my wireless is going to accidentally pick it up. This is a clear channel, and in this situation, you likely don't need to adjust your squelch settings. You might up it a little bit just to be safe, but usually when it's completely clear, you don't usually need to adjust the squelch setting from here. However, this is not always the case that you're going to find a completely clear signal. Oftentimes, especially at venues, I'll run into issues like this, where every channel I go to, I get a little bit of RF. You can see no matter what channel I go to, the RF light comes on and I get a little bit of RF reading in the RF meter. That means somewhere else, something nearby is causing noise or interference that my wireless system is picking up. It's other wireless or other electronic stuff. There's multiple things that my wireless can pick up. And remember, my transmitter is off. This is why you want to do this with your transmitter off, because you want to see what the RF environment looks like around you. So even if you don't have a scan feature, you can try changing channels manually. And if every channel is getting some sort of RF signal, this is where you want to use squelch. So on this channel right here, 492.100 megahertz, I'm getting a little bit of RF. This is what it currently sounds like on this channel right here when I plug in. Hear that noise that's being picked up? That is the sound that is being picked up from the wireless. Whatever my wireless antenna is picking up, it's picking up this noise. I don't want to hear that. This is what I like about the Sennheiser system, is that you can see the dots right here, and that shows you where the current squelch threshold level is set. So what I need to do is I need to adjust the squelch level so that it's high enough to mute that signal. So watch, I'm going to adjust the squelch level up a little bit. When I bring it up to 9, it's still not high enough to really mute that signal. But you can still see the RF light is on, and it's still getting audio, which again is picking up that noise. So I need to set it a little bit higher. So I'm going to set it to 13. And now you can see the mute light is on. It is not going to send that signal or allow that signal to go through. I've set the squelch level high enough that it will mute and suppress the audio and the noise that I do not want to hear. And instead, I will only focus on the sound that I do want to hear. Might actually raise it just a tiny bit higher just to be safe. That's usually what I like to do. So I setting it to 15 is good. So now you can see in here, when I bring the squelch level up high enough, it will mute the noise. So you can think of of squelch as almost like a noise gate. The squelch level is now set high enough that will mute everything below the squelch level. And then when I turn on my transmitter, you'll see that the signal strength is nice and strong, so it'll only pick up the sound from that transmitter and not the noise that I'm trying to remove with squelch. So everything above the squelch level will be picked up and the audio will come through, and everything below the squelch level will be muted and it will not come through. So it's very helpful for filtering out noise. If you are curious why my transmitter is this little guy right here, I do have a video going over my portable in-ear monitor system, and you can check out that video by clicking up above or down below in the description. Now, just to drive the point home, I'm going to do the same thing on my Alto Stealth. This is a wireless that I use for my PA system. It also has a squelch setting. You can see basically any channel that I try to find, there is still getting a little bit of an RF reading. Remember, the transmitter is off. I'm scanning for the best channel. I'm seeing a little bit of RF no matter what channel I go to with the squelch setting set to 1. I push the squelch button, I raise it up to 2, and now it is no longer picking up any unwanted noise. And again, just my personal philosophy, I'm going to raise that to 3 just to be safe. Same idea that we did with the Sennheiser system. So that's how I use squelch. When I'm scanning for the best channel, I will set the squelch level to the lowest setting, and then I will scan for the best channel. If I find a clear signal that has no RF reading, likely I will just use that channel and I'm good to go. And if I cannot find a clear channel, and that happens more times than you might think, there's one place that we play by the airport in particular that there's always something being picked up by my wireless stuff. So it's a very congested RF environment and makes it difficult to use wireless music gear. So what I'll do is I'll either adjust the squelch level up and scan again, or I will just look for which one am I getting the least amount of signal on the RF meter. Once I find the channel that I want to use, then I'll set the squelch level accordingly so that it ignores all of that unwanted noise and only focuses on the signal that I want to be sent to my wireless. Just remember, now that you've adjusted the squelch level higher, it will ignore things that drop below a certain wireless strength or the RF signal strength. So the further away the transmitter and the receiver are from each other, the less strong the signal will be. That means that the RF signal will be weaker. If you get too far away from the transmitter to the receiver, you could reach that squelch threshold and you can get dropouts. So you don't want to just set the squelch level to its highest setting and just leave it there, because then you're really going to cut down the range that your wireless can go. So there's not just a one-size-fits-all setting for squelch. It does depend on the environment that you're playing in. Some places I play, I have no problems finding a clear signal. Other times, it's a little more challenging. In those challenging environments, squelch is very useful. And just to give one example of a situation where I should have used squelch, is I have a battery-powered wireless PA system that I use. I have a video on it if you're interested. But on that one, I was running wireless from our mixer to our PA system. The wireless transmitter died and the receiver kept receiving a signal. So what happened is the signal cut out completely, so it lost RF, but it picked up something else and added a ton of noise and static into our PA system. If I had set the squelch level high enough, it would have ignored that. If I would have done what I did in this video, the transmitter would have just died and the PA would have died, which is way better than hearing that awful static sound going out into the PA system. So again, it is just worth knowing how to use squelch, especially in challenging RF environments. So if you guys understand how to use squelch now, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. It does a ton to support the channel and feed the YouTube algorithm gods, and I would appreciate it. If you want to find other tips about using your wireless music gear, I do have a video going over 5 common mistakes when using wireless music gear. I made 4 out of the 5 of those mistakes when I first started using wireless, so it's definitely worth knowing these. And I also do have a video going over a comprehensive buying guide for wireless music gear, so you can find out which wireless is right for you and your budget. You can check out both of those videos by clicking the links on your screen now. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. It truly does help out the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you next time.